Question 1. A company wants to improve the performance and security of its global web application by directing users to the closest point of presence and protecting against common web vulnerabilities. Which Azure service is best suited for this requirement, operating at layer 7 and utilizing Anycast IP? Option A, Azure Load Balancer. Option B, Azure Application Gateway. Option C, Azure Traffic Manager. Option D, Azure Front Door. The correct answer is Azure Front Door. Here's the explanation. Azure Front Door is a global Layer 7 load balancer that uses Anycast IP to direct users to the closest POP, leverages Microsoft's global network, and includes WAF for security, making it ideal for global web application acceleration and security. Question 2. When a user connects to a web application protected by Azure Front Door, where does the SSL/TLS termination typically occur to offload processing from the origin servers? Option A, at the user's browser. Option B, at the backend origin server. Option C, at the Azure Front Door point of presence, POP, closest to the user. Option D, at an Azure Application Gateway placed in front of the origin. The correct answer is at the Azure Front Door point of presence, POP, closest to the user. Here's the explanation. Azure Front Door performs SSL offloading at its edge POS, decrypting traffic there to reduce the processing burden on back-end origin servers. Question 3. A development team needs to configure Azure Front Door to ensure secure, private connectivity from Front Door directly to their back-end origins hosted within an Azure virtual network, without exposing the origins to the public internet. Which Azure Front Door tier and feature would they need to utilize? Option A, Standard tier with health probes. Option B, Premium tier with private link support. Option C, Standard tier with a custom WAF policy. Option D, Premium tier with an enhanced CDN cache. The correct answer is Premium tier with private link support. Here's the explanation. The Premium tier of Azure Front Door offers private link support, enabling secure, private connectivity to back-end origins within Azure virtual networks, eliminating public internet exposure. Question 4. VNet A is paired with VNet B, and VNet B is paired with VNet C. Which statement accurately describes the communication capabilities between VNet A and VNet C through VNet B's peering? Option A, VNet A can directly communicate with VNet C because all peered VNets form a single network. Option B, VNet A can communicate with VNet C only if a network security group, NSG, allows the traffic. Option C, VNet A cannot directly communicate with VNet C through VNet B's peering due to the non-transitive nature of VNet peering. Option D, VNet A can communicate with VNet C if gateway transit is enabled on both peering connections. The correct answer is VNet A cannot directly communicate with VNet C through VNet B's peering due to the non-transitive nature of VNet peering. Here's the explanation. VNet peering is a non-transitive relationship. If VNet A is peered with VNet B, and VNet B is peered with VNet C, VNet A cannot directly communicate with VNet C through VNet B's peering connection. A direct peering or a transitive routing solution, like an NVA or VPN gateway, would be required. Question 5. What is a fundamental prerequisite for successfully establishing a VNet peering connection between two Azure virtual networks? Option A, both VNets must reside in the same Azure subscription. Option B, both VNets must have at least one VPN gateway deployed. Option C, the IP address spaces of the two VNets must not overlap. Option D, the VNets must be located in the same Azure region. The correct answer is the IP address spaces of the two VNets must not overlap. Here's the explanation. A fundamental requirement for VNet peering is that the peered VNets must have non-overlapping IP address ranges. If they overlap, peering cannot be established. Question 6. In a hub-and-spoke VNet topology, where a hub VNet contains a VPN gateway for on-premises connectivity, which setting must be enabled on the peering connection from the hub VNet asterisk to a asterisk spoke VNet asterisk to allow the spoke VNet to use the hub's gateway? Option A. Allow forwarded traffic. Option B. Allow virtual network access. Option C. Use remote gateways. Option D. Allow remote gateways. The correct answer is allow remote gateways. Here's the explanation. Gateway transit allows a peered VNet spoke to use the VPN gateway or ExpressRoute gateway in the hub VNet. For this to work, the hub VNet's peering configuration must be set to allow remote gateways, and the spoke VNet's peering configuration must be set to use remote gateways. Question 7. What is the primary security benefit of using service endpoints for connecting a virtual network to a PaaS service? Option A. It assigns a private IP address to the PaaS service within the virtual network. Option B. It forces all traffic to traverse the public internet, but with encryption. Option C. It eliminates public internet exposure for sensitive data flows by keeping traffic on the cloud provider's backbone network. Option D. It allows the PaaS service to initiate connections back into the virtual network. The correct answer is it eliminates public internet exposure for sensitive data flows by keeping traffic on the cloud provider's backbone network. Here's the explanation. Service endpoints address security by extending your virtual network's private address space to PaaS services over a direct, optimized connection that bypasses the public internet entirely, keeping traffic within the cloud provider's internal backbone network. Question 8. When a resource in a virtual network subnet connects to a PaaS service via a service endpoint, what IP address does the PaaS service typically see as the source of the connection? Option A. A public NAT IP address. Option B. A random ephemeral public IP address. Option C. The private IP address of the connecting resource within the virtual network. Option D. The public IP address of the PaaS service itself. The correct answer is the private IP address of the connecting resource within the virtual network. Quote, here's the explanation. A key feature of service endpoints is source IP preservation. The PaaS service sees the private IP address of the resource initiating the connection from your virtual network, which is crucial for granular access control rules on the PaaS service firewall. Question 9. How do service endpoints establish a private connection to a PaaS service without provisioning a network interface for the service within the virtual network? Option A. They use a separate, dedicated VPN tunnel for each PaaS service. Option B. They require a public IP address on the virtual network gateway. Option C. They modify the subnet's routing table to direct traffic over the cloud provider's internal backbone network. Option D. They convert the PaaS service's public IP address into a private one. The correct answer is, quote, they modify the subnet's routing table to direct traffic over the cloud provider's internal backbone network. Here's the explanation. Service endpoints work by automatically injecting a system route into the routing table of the enabled subnet. This route overrides the default internet route for the PaaS service, directing traffic through the cloud provider's internal backbone network instead of the public internet. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.